Coming up next on We Are Marshall Today, we'll introduce you to a group of students learning the ins and outs of weather forecasting.
Plus, the Marshall community celebrates the opening of its multi-million-dollar Alumni Center. These stories and more up next on We Are Marshall Today. Hello and welcome to We Are Marshall Today. I'm Dan Hollis.
And I'm Leah Edwards. Dan, the groundhog may be one of the most well-known weather forecasters around.
But a group of Marshall University students is busy giving the groundhog a little competition.
This is where it's going to be the most intense.
It's been one of the snowiest winters on record in West Virginia, and it couldn't have come at a better time for these students studying weather analysis. The class is one of several offered in meteorology, which is currently a minor in the College of Science. It's a field of study that senior Zach Fraley says is always changing.
I've always had an interest in weather and everything, but like I didn't really know what to expect, and when I got into it, it just, there's so much more going on, and it's not that complicated. It's, one of the big things that I found out is like one thing feeds off another, and it's just putting things together, and you can figure out answers.
Those answers are exactly what students are looking for when they perform analysis on charts, radar, and other readings.
Once you know some of the concepts, then you can, do stuff that's pretty cool. Like we're learning like maybe the actual forecast that's on at 5 o'clock today. We're looking at stuff that they're looking at, and we can know the forecast. What they're going to say before they even do it.
Student Brandon Vaness agrees the skills he's learning in the classroom are easily transferred into daily application.
I get on my roommates' nerves a lot because I can look at the weather and be like, well, this is what it's going to be later on this evening, or this is what it's going to be like a couple days from now. And it kind of drives him nuts.
Meteorology courses are offered through the Department of Geology, which also sponsors a meteorology club. For We Are Marshall Today, I'm Megan Ferguson.
Joining us now to talk more about the meteorology program here at Marshall University is Dr. Kevin Law. Dr. Law, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
First of all, I guess just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Marshall.
All right. Well, this is my fourth year at Marshall University. I'm an assistant professor over in the Department of Geography. Prior to coming to Marshall, I was a graduate student at Ohio State. I received my PhD there in atmospheric science, and I am a West Virginia native. But unfortunately, I had to go out of state to pursue a degree because West Virginia currently does not have a program. So when Marshall had a position in the Department of Geography and Physical Geography, that was a perfect fit for me because at Ohio State, the meteorology department was actually within the geography department there. So it was a perfect fit for me. And when I came here 3 years ago, it was great, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to actually pursue this and actually get a program within the state of West Virginia.
When most of us hear the term meteorology, we think of the local television weathercaster predicting the weather for this weekend. But it's got to be more than that, isn't it?
It is. That's a very small percentage of the actual jobs out there. The majority of the jobs are behind the scenes. Most people work for the National Weather Service in the public eye there, but there are a lot of private enterprises out there as well. For example, utility companies hire meteorologists all the time. For example, oil companies that have their oil refineries there in the Gulf of Mexico. They want to keep an eye on hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. Electric companies want to keep an eye on cold waves, heat waves, because that'll impact peak electricity usage. So they keep an eye there. Agribusinesses out in the Midwest, they need to know if there's going to be a drought. Also, transportation industries. So FedEx, UPS, airlines, all hire meteorologists. There are also some private consulting firms that hire meteorologists as well. Insurance companies are all the time looking for forensic meteorologists to verify weather conditions, to identify the conditions that took place during an automobile accident, or to verify storms for wind damage or hail to houses and so forth.
So meteorology is one of those things that's going to grow in the future. The job market is really good.
Absolutely. In fact, there was a recent report by the U.S. News and World Report in 2009 that had meteorology as one of the 50 best jobs for 2010, with above average growth in the next 10 years.
Let's bring it back to campus. What does Marshall currently offer in the field?
Right now, I developed 3 classes: an intro-level meteorology course. I also have a severe storms class as well, and I have a weather analysis class. These are the 3 core classes that I developed since coming here. Prior to to coming, Marshall already had a climatology course, which I do offer as well. And also the School of Journalism is developing a broadcast meteorology course as well.
What does a student have to be interested in? Science? Is science important?
Yes, they need to love math and science. On the science end, they need to focus on chemistry and especially physics. And a lot of people are surprised how much math is involved, and a lot of students can be intimidated because you do have to go through calculus and a little bit of differential equations. A lot of those mathematical equations are thrown into the computer models, which then give you the forecast.
What kind of courses, what other courses outside maybe the major or the minor would be important for meteorology students?
Some other courses would be some thermodynamics and also some dynamic courses. So those are a lot of times taught in engineering departments.
What kind of attributes would a good meteorology student have?
Well, they have to be able to really interpret maps, because the key to becoming a forecaster is to know which models to trust. Models are not perfect, so you have to learn which models are good, which models are bad, and you got to be able to beat the computer models.
Dr. Law, what does it take to get a major started?
Well, right now we have to develop a few additional courses in addition to those core classes that I talked about. We'd like to actually get some additional math courses required, some additional physics courses required, and a little bit of thermodynamics and dynamics, which are usually taught in engineering departments.
I understand that even like in forensics might use meteorology degrees.
That's right. It's like a CSI type of job where people will actually hire a forensic meteorologist to identify the conditions that took place during a murder, because after all, bodies do decompose. So they need to know what was the humidity like, what was the temperature like during this exact time.
So right now the process is that meteorology is a minor.
Correct.
And students major in something else and then minor in
meteorology. Correct. They could actually major in geography, or they could major in journalism or physics or geology, whatever. But they could also, though, minor in meteorology.
And then what's the how many courses would you have offered now?
Right now, I have 14 required hours for the minor. Now, eventually, we would like to develop the major, but we're talking there on the order of about 30 hours, credit hours.
So what's the process now? How do you develop more courses?
Well, I have to submit those proposed classes to a curriculum committee, where it will then have to be approved and then sent to the dean, and then the provost will then eventually have to approve that as well.
Well, it sounds like some exciting things are happening in the meteorology program. So, Kevin, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next on We Are Marshall Today, the welcome mat is out and the university opens its new Alumni Center. Stay with us.
It's been kind of boring, just trying to annoy each other. Kill the time, kill the boredom.
My company's downsizing. I thought it'd be in my best interest to go back to school. But as busy as I am, commuting was not going to be an option. And with MU Online, I can take classes anywhere.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
Yeah, we had a pretty good rehearsal today. We blocked Act 2, and no, we're gonna block Act 3 next week, I think.
Are you okay? What's going on?
I can't find the classes I need.
Haven't you tried MU Online?
You can take your classes anywhere, anytime. All you need is a computer.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
I've been looking for this class all week, and now, since it's online, I can take it whenever I want.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
My name's Emily, and in 7 years, I'll be an alcoholic. I'll start drinking in 8th grade, but my parents won't really notice because I'll do okay in school and everything will seem okay, but everything won't be okay.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
Marshall University students, hoping to gather a little more information on financial aid, had the chance to ask questions last month. The Financial Aid Festival offered students the chance to speak with counselors in an informal setting. The week-long event also offered several financial aid seminars during the noon hour at the Student Center. Students looking for employment didn't have far to go last month as University Career Services sponsored the annual career fair. Dozens of employers talked with students, reviewed their resumes, and scheduled job interviews. Career Services event coordinator Glenn Midkiff says there was quite a bit of activity at the fair, despite the depressed economy.
I'm very surprised that it's so successful, especially this year in a down economy. I'm very surprised at the interest in our students, and I think it speaks to the students that we produce here at Marshall.
Career Services extends help to current Marshall students and alumni.
Providing students with a quality education is the mission of Marshall University's faculty and staff. During Higher Education Day at the Capitol last month, Governor Joe Manchin called on all colleges and universities to remember the goal.
That's my challenge to you all is going to be this. Find the low-hanging fruit. Tell me how you can go find everybody out there that maybe has 6 hours, 10 hours, either for financial reasons or family obligations they couldn't finish. Find them. Let's get them graduated.
The annual day at the Capitol allows colleges and universities around the state the chance to showcase their top programs to legislators. February featured dozens of campus activities to mark Black History Month. One of those was Marshall's annual diversity breakfast. The early morning get-together allowed hundreds from the Marshall community to celebrate their differences. Motivational consultant Dr. Howard Adams served as the morning's keynote speaker.
Later this month, Marshall University will offer community and business leaders the chance to learn some of the world's best business practices. Disney Institute travels to Huntington for a program geared toward succeeding in a sloping economy. Registration for the event begins at 7:30 a.m. in the Memorial Students' Don Morris Room. Visit keyshuntington.com for more information. They report the news, play the latest music, and generally keep the community informed. And now, WMUL staffers will do what they do best 24 hours a day. Since 1961, Marshall WMUL has been broadcasting 21 hours a day. The new change is 24 hours a day is made possible with an upgrade in software. The station celebrated the on-air announcement at noon, March 1st. Well, Leah, the welcome mat is out and the front door is open.
Absolutely. Marshall University celebrated the grand opening of its new foundation hall, which houses the Erikson Alumni Center.
Hundreds of people gathered on a snowy Saturday recently for the chance to see the new $9 million facility. Located on the corner of John Marshall Drive and Fifth Avenue, project developer Tim Haymaker says the center is a beautiful design supported by amazing details.
You want to have a wow factor. And if you didn't walk into this building and say, wow, you needed another cup of Starbucks this morning, because this place is something special.
The Marshall University Foundation, Alumni Relations, and MU Development offices are all housed in the new building, bringing together staff previously separated on the Huntington campus.
I've worked the last couple years in the old Erikson Alumni Center, and I think it's served its purpose, and it's been a great home for a many number of years. But moving into this new building and housing all of the Marshall artifacts and movie and memorabilia, it makes it really special.
Straub and others, like Marshall Alumni Association President Nancy Campbell, predict the new facility will generate additional enthusiasm for Marshall University.
I think it will draw people back. I think that it will allow us to increase our membership once they see that we have this great facility here and that we are growing. But also we have state-of-the-art offices for our very hard-working staff, which will just make it so much easier for them to reach out to alumni across the country.
Featuring a new alumni lounge, a conference center, a call center for fundraising, and a striking rotunda, project manager Tim Haymaker says Marshall University is poised for an incredible future.
This is not your old Marshall University. This is the new Marshall University. It is the engine that runs southern West Virginia.
The new facility is available for rentals and may be booked by contacting the Marshall University Foundation.
Joining us now to talk more about the Marshall University Foundation is its Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Ron Area.
Good morning.
Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Wow, you just came off of a fantastic weekend, opened up a beautiful new building.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about the building.
Well, it's about 33,000 square feet, a little bit more than that, and it houses the offices of Alumni Relations and Development and Foundation. Not all the Foundation employees are in the building. The development officers that are assigned to the colleges are associated in their offices. But it's a beautiful facility. lots of years in the planning. The fundraising for this endeavor started probably 1997. Lance West was very involved in his alumni role in raising money for this. It stalled after a year or so, and I think this is before I came. The alumni and foundation board members got together and said, hey, could we maybe do this together in order to have offices for all three in one facility? And that's how it came about.
It makes sense to have all three in there. I mean, there's a natural overlap.
The connectivity, we've been in the building for 2 weeks, and we thought we would be in a little bit earlier, but how construction deadlines and things like that get pushed aside. But during this last 2 weeks, the connectivity and the ways of cooperating and working together were extremely heightened, because in the past we were splintered all over the campus. So this has really worked out extremely well, and I could see that the level of efficiency and production is going to just increase significantly.
I can imagine that would add a lot of synergy to the effort.
To be honest with you, people can't hide, see? And it's easy to be able to connect with individuals, and when we have things that come up right away and we need to pull together a small team of people to address whatever the issue is, it's available, we can do it. And so I'm very excited about it, and so far it's working out extremely well. We had the open house on Saturday afternoon, and we had a donor reception on Friday, and we handed out this beautiful book about the different types of people that were involved in the event, as well as the design and fact sheet and naming opportunities that are still available.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. There are still naming opportunities available, correct?
That's correct. This Foundation Hall Alumni Center was all raised with private resources, and it's resources that were not redirected from university priorities. These are gifts that alumni and donors made up and above what they would normally do. And there we have some of them we have 3 to 5 year pledges on some of them. But we have 9 pages of naming opportunities, and we probably have about half of them that have been that are now committed. But as an example, the arches in the building, we've got multiple arches around the building that were taken from the movie We Are Marshall. Our executive volunteer designer coordinator, Tim Haymaker, out of Lexington, was very instrumental in saying, we need to capture those arches, and those arches are in there. Well, those arches, I think that there may be maybe 10 different sets of arches. We're trying to market them for a significant price, and I got a commitment last night from a family in town that would like to have their name associated with it. So there's lots of different things. There are naming opportunities as little as $50, going all the way up to several million.
Well, obviously you've made a lot of progress with this building with private funds. But we can't ignore the fact that we're in a down economy, and I would imagine it's slowed a little.
It's slowed a little, but people are very optimistic, and we're going to get out of this. And that's one of the strong points about people that are connected with Marshall. They want to invest in the future, and they see this facility as part of the future. And they know that this facility is going to be here for years and years. We even have a time capsule put in with letters and memorabilia that we will open up in 50 years. And some of these younger students, we even got a contribution from a young lady that's probably 4 or 5 years old, and she says, I'm coming back for the time capsule going to be opened. And she says, and she made a $10 contribution to the facility. So it was just
Herd fans, young and old, right?
Young fans, young and old, and and I think that's what it is. That people see the value of this. We're going to use this for our students. We're going to use this for recruiting. Our athletic director came by and he said, "Wow, what an opportunity for us to recruit future athletes and bring their parents here." And so he was looking at it in those ways. So it's going to be a wonderful facility. We also have available for the community.
Well, I know it's people can rent the facility for weddings, conferences, those types of things, correct?
We have a young lady, Crystal Nichols, who is our event coordinator and building manager, and she's coordinating all events in the building. We have probably 35 events already scheduled in the facility, 11 or 12 weddings. We're pretty much booked for May and June. And it's a wonderful location. The setting is very warm and inviting, and with the mezzanine where the bride could stand and throw the bouquet down into the rotunda area with the wedding party, it's just a wonderful setting on the campus.
It is absolutely beautiful. And before I let you go, though, I do want to ask you, what is your favorite area in the new building?
It would have to be the mezzanine area. It's just the openness of it, and with the dome area, we have labeled it Herd Heaven, and that's the nickname for it. And it's just having the opportunity to be able to see inside and outside of the building from that location is just incredible. And I encourage anybody that's in the community or you're coming to campus, as you tour other facilities, please come by and let us show you around.
All right, Ron, Area, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful new building.
Thank you. Well, we're hoping to raise a lot of money with it.
All right, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Leah.
Welcome. And before we go to the break, let's meet another member of the Marshall University alumni family. Ruby Dyer graduated from Marshall University in 1974 with her bachelor's degree and again in 1977 with a master's in journalism. She currently lives with her husband in Huntington and is a teacher at Wayne High School. Ruby Dyer, another member of the Marshall University alumni family, spreading the word about the herd.
What's that? I don't know. Something I kind of made. Ooh, what's it do?
What do I do? Well, thanks for asking. I ring my bell and I like to dance. What do I do? Well, thanks for asking.
Ew. Yeah, it still needs a little work.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. Hey. Where have you been? I lost my cat. Oh, that's not right. Yeah, so I made this cat magnet to try and get him back. Cool. Does it work? Kinda. Nice. Yeah, but that's not my cat. Gotta keep working on it. See ya. Yeah.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
From the classroom straight to your computer.
I teach international marketing online 100%. I conduct this class from my office, from my home, and it is 24/7 available to students across the country. I would say this has been one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences, not only for me, for my students as well.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
So, Leah, what do two streams of water have to do with electricity?
Well, I'm sure you probably know the answer to that, Dan. But for the rest of our audience, let's listen in on this science experiment with Dr. Thomas Wilson.
Today was to show a very remarkable power supply invented by an Englishman, Kelvin, in 1867. And it generates a real large potential difference. 10 kilovolts actually I was able to generate using the so-called Kelvin water dropper, and it's just two streams of falling water that somehow, mysteriously, can create a pretty large potential difference between the two streams when they're collected in a bucket. There are some very unorthodox means of producing power, and it's just not so simple as necessarily plugging something into an AC outlet or buying an off-the-shelf battery at Radio Shack. Some people have been pretty creative and clever in developing means of producing electricity from other energy sources, and this was the energy was coming from falling water. I powered some bells that were ringing a bit from the falling water, and Ben Franklin actually invented these bells to notify him of any impending thunderstorm activity outside. And he had one wire hooked up to the bells that ran outside to a lightning rod, and another wire from a different part of the bell system that went to earth ground, buried in the ground. And he noticed that the bells would ring when there was thunderstorm activity. Physics is fun, and I'm trying to convey a little bit of excitement, physics, by doing as many demonstrations that are relevant as I can.
So, Leah, I guess we learned what two streams of water have to do with electricity.
We absolutely did.
That's going to do it for this edition of We Are Marshall Today. I'm Ben Hollis.
And I'm Leah Edwards. Thanks for watching.
Trying to annoy each other, kill the time, kill the boredom.
My company's downsizing. I thought it'd be in my best interest to go back to school. With as busy as I am, commuting was not going to be an option. But with MU Online, I can take classes anywhere.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
Yeah, we had a pretty good rehearsal today. We blocked Act 2, and no, we're gonna block Act 3 next week, I think.
Are you okay? What's going on?
I can't find the classes I need.
Haven't you tried MU Online?
You can take your classes anywhere, anytime. All you need is a computer.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
I've been looking for this class all week, and now, since it's online, I can take it whenever I want.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
My name's Emily, and in 7 years, I'll be an alcoholic. I'll start drinking in 8th grade, but my parents won't really notice because I'll do okay in school and everything will seem okay, but everything won't be okay.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.